Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gdansk, Poland. The final day of competition here in Gdansk, week number 6. I'm Ted Barton, along with Mark Hanratty. We begin today with the free dance, and the leaders from Ukraine, Iryna and Artem have a 2-point lead over Villo and Alexander of Canada. And both teams can lock up a spot at the Junior Grand Prix if they can stay within the top 2 positions.
Soldati and Taliabu of Italy and Koch and Chatignou of France are positioned for the bronze at this point, but it wouldn't guarantee a ticket for them to the Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan. They, like others, will have to wait and watch the final stage unfold in Abu Dhabi next week to see what will take place.
17 teams, 13 nations. The free dance starts
right now.
Welcome, everyone, to Gdansk, Poland. Final day of competition here as we fly over the Olivia Arena, host of not only this Junior Grand Prix, but many, many in the past. I think I've done 7 or 8. Mark Hanratty joining me here right behind the judges panel in our production room as we take a look at the start order for the rhythm dance. Mark, final day. This day is not 15 hours. This one is 7.5, and we feel good and energized, and I know you do.
Yeah, I really
you ran your 10K this morning.
Did my 10K on the treadmill this morning, so I have all the energy to push through with the joy that's necessary to represent these athletes. The 34 skaters in the ice dance competition, it's 17 teams, and it is our privilege to be able to try to support them on their journey, and each and every single one of them, as the judges are too, very important to the future continuation of our sport and the storytelling that they have.
You know, I was sort of reflecting on yesterday. It was a long day. Both days were very, very long days. However, how lucky we are and how fortunate we are to be able to do what we do, and we don't take it lightly. We take a huge responsibility for the athletes and the coaches and all of it to make sure that people have the right information. There's so much misinformation out and around, not just about our sport, about life in general. So we take a big responsibility with that to do the best we can.
Yeah, also incredibly conscious of the human commitment that the skaters have, and I think if anybody hasn't skated at a Junior Grand Prix level or an international level, they might be unaware of the amount of, it's just all-consuming. My memories of being an international competitive skater were just every facet of my being, everything that I, ate, slept, drank, every waking moment seemed to be so largely mindful of what I wanted to achieve in international competition, and I wasn't uber successful, so it still governed my life, and that is then undoubtedly to be the case for the skaters in all of the groups in this event.
Very true. Now, Mark, also we're going to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about the 2030 vision. Not a little bit, a lot about it, the 2030 vision, because there's been a number of announcements that came out yesterday. Really exciting, first of all, about the Junior Grand Prix next season, but also some really interesting initiatives. We've talked about how much we support and how much joy that is being brought, I think, to our sport for the future by Vision 2030. Clean slate, new ideas, new initiatives, the safety of the sport for a whole variety of different aspects. And we've got some of the information here, and I think we want to pass it on. Yeah,
it's just amazing to hear all of the work that is being done by the International Skating Union to further develop the sport. One of which is the fact that they have a new headquarters. The ISU officially opened the doors of its new home of skating, the headquarters in Lausanne, and that obviously incredibly exciting, and it's great to have a home for the sport. And then in that venue, they are then giving us a whole host of new initiatives and new exciting information, and there were decisions of the council that were released I think it was yesterday, communication number 2744, and within that, lots of impacts that we'll have on the skating community, one of which really pertinent to a lot of the skaters on screen now, the Grand Prix Series host announcements for next season. And so the Junior Grand Prix in 2026 will go to China, Latvia, Thailand, Turkey, Georgia, Slovenia, and back to Poland.
Yeah, interesting. As the sport continues to sort of expand around the world, we'll enter Georgia next year for the first time ever, and we'll go deep into China as well. and the home of Pelliot.
Yes.
And of course, a lot of the familiar places as well. We will finish right here in Gdansk next year as well.
Yes, and the confirmation of the desire for our sport to be promoted, supported, and developed globally continued now with full ISU membership granted to Colombia. So after discussion, the ISU Council decided to grant full International Skating Union membership for the speed skating branch to the Colombian Skating Federation. So just, again, confirmation, more and more representation of ice sports.
Yeah, and we've talked about the growth of skating in South America. And we've seen a number of South American skaters here skate to, cultural and traditional music and costumes as well. So we can see the expansion of the sport. We're going to Abu Dhabi next week. Of course, that's the first time ever that a Junior Grand Prix or that any international skating competition has happened in the Middle East. So we're excited about that.
Yes, and as we look at this ice dance event, the free dance event upcoming, interesting, I'm not sure how often, if any, we have had a South American ice dance team. So maybe that's the next stage. That's the next push. Let's see if we can have our voices sing out to support any ice dancers in that part of the world.
We've had a team represent Brazil. Now,
Oh,
mind you, they
true.
trained in Canada, but they did represent Brazil.
And we've had Mexican ice dance teams. Okay, this is now something that I
let's
should
not
start
go down
talking
the
about until I've
Exactly.
done all my research and prep
Yeah,
for the
exactly.
representation of various different
Yeah.
skating federations. So we look ahead now to this ice dance free dance. And as is always the case, on the second event of any of the competitions, the starting order will be based upon the results of the first section of the competition, which was the rhythm dance. And this will be...
If a non-skating person said to you, Mark, can you explain to me in a sentence or two, did you notice that?
I
In a
did
sentence
very
or two,
loaded.
and you said impossible, but in a sentence or two, what the difference between the rhythm dance and the free dance of what I'm going to watch, how would you describe it?
Oh, well, you told me that I can only stick to one or two sentences, so that's hard. However, if I was to summarize, the free dance is in its very nature freer. They're not confined to a certain music choice. And the pattern of the ice coverage within a free dance is more open. So they're not restricted to the constant pattern that is confining them in the rhythm dance.
Well done. Well done. Our first competitors here on the final day of competition represent Poland, Sophia and and David Kaminski.
Wonderful moment for Zofia and Dawid. 17th after the rhythm dance, and a huge moment for them skating in front of a home crowd.
And they'll skate to West Side Story.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and I pity any girl who isn't me tonight. See that pretty girl in that mirror there? Who can that attractive girl be? Such a pretty face, such a pretty dress, such a pretty style, such a pretty face. I feel stunning and entrancing, feel like running and dancing for joy, for I love my pretty wonderful
I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me.
Well, Mark, this is one of the reasons that I love the Junior Grand Prix so much. This team has probably just gotten together, introduced to the discipline of ice dance, and they're still learning to skate to a certain degree, learning the basics of the skating and edges and whatnot, and here they're participating. This is why the Junior Grand Prix and competitions like this is so important in how the sport grows, and we don't know whether they'll continue on at a high competitive level, whether they'll turn to judging or volunteering or whatever, but they're in the sport, and you can see they love it. They wouldn't be doing it unless they wanted to be out here, and I think that's so cool. Obviously, the skill level is not at the highest level at this point, but they're here participating. That's awesome.
So brilliant, and so brilliant for them to have this moment at the Junior Grand Prix in front of a home crowd as we see them working through the 1-foot turns. And so within this element, they'll be working to try to showcase rocker, counter, bracket, and a twizzle. Here the twizzle, the final turn. And as with all of the teams, they'll be working on the synchronized twizzles here. Different entry edge for the first and the second, and going for the 4 rotations, going for this, the Group C feature, which would have 3 rotations to be callable. This choreographic slide, need to hold it for 2 seconds to be called, so maybe a little bit short there. As we see there, rotational lift. And this team of Zofia and Dawid, all the elements in the program being called, all 8 though currently under review. So as we look at their choreo character step sequence, their final element, technical panel will just be checking if the requirements are fulfilled. So huge congrats to Zofia and Dawid for opening the competition, and to their coach Yelyzaveta.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This is the first time I've seen this, but there are 8 elements in the free dance, and all 8 were under review. So this review is going to take a while, because this team is just starting out. And, you know, the edges and the depth and the cleanliness of the turns are going to be in doubt for the technical panel to see, so they need to look back at it on the replay. So this is all a normal procedure. This is why this one will take a little bit longer. But, you know, this is... You wouldn't see this in a senior Grand Prix, you know, and maybe other competitions, you know, other internationals, you will have this. But here in the Junior Grand Prix, I think it's a wonderful part of it.
And now for Zofia and Dawid, they will have although this is not as competitive with the other skaters, getting ready for this event, getting the free dance under construction and ready will have helped to fast forward their progress. And now on the back of this experience, the feedback now will again give them a huge boost in moving forward.
Yeah, and the big thing is to be able to watch in the practice session your other competitors, your top group, and learn from seeing other skaters and how they practice and how they train and the depth of edge and the turns and all those things. Say, yeah, I want to do better here, and we'll get back to work. So I think it's a great, wonderful life experience and experience here for the development of skating.
And now, one of the things that we can hopefully try to relay for Zofia and Dawid is then some of the technical panel's decision making. I'd mentioned as we watched back the slow-mo replay of their choreo slide that one of the criteria for that to be fulfilled is to showcase that slide for 2 seconds. I thought it was maybe short. It's subsequently gone out of the system, so they've lost that element. And I think that's just because with all of the elements that they have, there's so much to do, that just not something that was as much of a feature for them or fixture for them in sustaining for that 2 seconds. So it's been dropped from the
And if you've done a number of run-throughs and detailed analysis of each one of the elements, that experience, something like that probably wouldn't happen. It looks, as we said, a little early on in their stage of development.
Yeah, but fascinatingly, and to be fair to Zofia and Dawid, as we were in the Skate to Milan Olympic qualifier, even in that event, there were people vying for competition who lost their choreo elements or had implications. So constant evolution, constant learning. And what they have achieved is the maximum level 4 in their curve lift and a dance spin, which I thought was one of their strongest elements. That was a level 3. So they've got some elements that are ticking all the boxes for the criteria for the highest of levels, which is fantastic. What we will see through the course of this event, as we do with all the dance events, is that the step sequence and the 1-foot turns are the hardest to achieve the higher levels on, and that's the case for these guys.
Yeah, and the elements are in the minus GOEs at the moment because they're still under construction to get to the point where they can add points to the base value with the quality improving. And that'll come with time and a lot of mileage. As we'll take a look at the free dance score, 37.80 for Zofia and Dawid. They're the first team out in this event. Total competition score 64.66. Our next team also represents Poland.
Representing Poland,
Yelyzaveta and Jakub.
And Yelyzaveta and Jakub struggled a little bit in the rhythm dance. So we really hope that they will have an incredibly positive experience in this, their upcoming free dance.
They'll skate to Experience and Run by Ludovico Einaudi.
Yelyzaveta, Lisova and Jakub Janicki completing a much stronger free dance. I'm so happy for them that that was a positive skate and a better skate than that which I remember from them on their first Junior Grand Prix of the season in Varese in Italy.
Yeah, it's so nice to finish the Junior Grand Prix season on a high. I know we talked about the early stages, you know, that was week 3 in Varese, so it's been a number of weeks of development and back to training, and now they're at where they would like to be, maybe at the beginning. But it's a normal process.
Yeah, and given that they had a 54.69 free dance score when they competed in Varese, this will usurp that as the technical panel just ascertain some of the levels now upon review. But especially, I'm so happy for them, particularly because of the difficulties that they had in the rhythm dance, and now Yelyzaveta skates off the ice with a smile on her face, as Jakub does too. Shout out to their coach, Justyna Potowska, as well, for the work she's done. And Jeremy Fleming, the wonderful skater that he is that we spoke about, the virtual star.
Hmm.
And this is cool. Whee!
Yeah, with a little flip, little twist.
yeah.
That was great.
Maybe kind of, oh, what did they do there? Here we look through the twizzles, right forward, outside edge, the entry edge for both on the second twizzle, and this is a Group C feature. Not sure they'll get that called. Little break in the rotation there. Just conscious here, Jakub just wants to get a little bit lower if he's going for the crouch position. He needs his thighs parallel to the ice to get the level on that stationary lift. And here the dance spin, so working through difficult variations, the camel spin, a difficult variation. And then the camel cat spin and the sit spin, further difficult variations for the team before they head into rotational lift. And their dance spin coming in at level 3, and this the rotation lift coming in at level 4, and that with the best grade of execution of all of their elements. But this was good too. I like their lift in the rhythm dance, and this using this as their choreographic lift, showcasing the strength of the team. That looks to be the place that they find most fun. Yeah. They had the cool little transitional content lift at the top of the program as well.
Very happy coming off the ice and in the kiss and cry.
And that's a much happier
Yes.
group of
Scene.
people. Yeah, makes me
We
happy.
take a look. Season's best, 63.11. That's significantly higher than their previous score. It puts them first, but it's early on in the competition with a 95.69 total competition score as they take the lead at this point. Progress made. They felt it. Maybe they like the numbers to be a bit higher. Who wouldn't?
Take your moment, shine. Well done.
Our next team represents Italy. Matilde and Pietro Rota.
And this team already, as they head to their start position, showcasing more speed and flow than that which we've seen from the first teams as we climb the rankings after the rhythm dance.
And they'll skate to the art of poison and dancing with fire.
Italy's Matilde Petracchi and Pietro Rota, and it's okay, don't worry, Matilde, we've all been there. World champions have been there, junior world champions have been there, these kind of things happen, but of course right now we just see a 15-year-old on the ice now who's so frustrated and sad that all the work that she and her team have put in isn't a reflection of what they wanted.
Yeah, the rest of the program was really strong. I was just mentioning how much stronger this team was than the other teams we had seen so far. Of course, they had that big mistake in wanting to skate absolutely clean, and that was their goal. And they're not going to look at the good things at this moment. The highlight or the low light for them is that fall for her, for sure. And that's just human nature. You're going to feel like that.
And this is where, this is where I feel like, as experienced people in the sport, we can try to put it into context. And we know that you're going to hurt right now, Matilda, but you're more than that. Don't worry. You've got good quality. Here we can see that the comparison in this 1-foot turn to that which we've seen, showcasing much more visible, clean turns. Here the bracket, changing edge into the twizzle. She actually achieved a level 2. Now they need. Okay, so for the criteria to have even level 1, she has to have 2 rotations in the first and second twizzle, and unfortunately the fall that took place there for Matilda happened too soon to have anything. So even though she did a wonderful job of continuing with the twizzles, she didn't get enough done before the fall took place to have any value there. As we see, great curve lift, deep spread eagle, good split position. And here their final element, the rotational lift. You can see all the passion that you would expect and enjoy to see from Italian ice dancers. I think one of the challenges, Ted, is that Matilde and Pietro, they train with so many other great and successful teams, so they're going to make that correct comparison. But Raffaella, who's here with them now, looking like she's doing a great job of contextualizing the mistake and recognizing they're on a journey bigger than that.
Wonderful assets already. Their skating skills are strong. Their skills are strong. Big mistake today. That happens. It will continue to happen at some point as they continue on their pathway. 62.16 for Matilde and Pietro. That is second in the free dance with a total competition score of 102.70 as they, at this stage, take the lead.
They are currently in first place.
Our next team is the third of 3 Polish entries, Laura Oszyrska and David Diachenko.
And again, as we continue up the ranks, following the rhythm dance, you can see already more posture, more body control, more awareness, just in the way in which this team hold their bodies as they prepare for their free dance.
And they'll start with Bohr from Christian Rendell.
Poland's Lara Balcerska and Dawid Dayachenko. And one of the things that I was thinking, Ted, as we were watching this performance, and one of the things that's so captivating about ice dance is the passion. And I was so impressed by Lara and David's connection and passion to both the music and to one another.
Such an important part of this discipline, of course. And at early stages, you may not get that. The early teams that we've seen that, working technically to get through the dance. Maybe the partnership connection isn't there yet. But here you started to see it evolve and become part of the program. And so important, the top teams will always have that connection. Not always, but mostly.
Yeah, and you never know if it's, hopefully it's reflective. Oh, wow, look at this.
That's
They've done well.
Yeah.
It's reflective of their friendship. I mean, it doesn't have to be. As we've spoken about, there are other very, very successful teams who have amazing chemistry. But it looks like Laura and David are friends on this journey together. And what a moment for them now. Just the number of... Oh, you dropped one. The number of cuddly toys is just a confirmation of what a big stage this is for these skaters in front of these people.
Yeah. Yeah, and put things in perspective. Yes, this is not the Olympic Games. It is not the World Championships, not Europeans, not 4 continents. This is the Junior Grand Prix, but this is the first stage of bigness, if you will, for these athletes to come to this venue. Look at it. It's a beautiful venue. We've got the cameras here, got the coverage as we take a look at that jump into the twizzles.
That jump, one of the features to attain high level. Yeah. Just level 3.
Oh, this is what I was told this time.
Oh, I see. So the level features, they're spinning in a different rotational direction. So that's a different option for level. And the position for Laura will be another feature, but it's an incredibly difficult choice of feature. There are easier ways for them to get level 4, but they're choosing to do what they have done will push the grade of execution up because of its difficult.
And I was looking at it going, boy, if that foot does not lock, that's trouble. Yeah, that was great.
Say it, Scary Biscuits. And now needing to make sure they work through 6
and there's
rotations.
a little bit of a bobble here.
Oh,
right
so
there.
he was going for the rotational lift feature, rotating on one foot.
Right.
And I think David will have lost that within the rotational lift. So technically not optimal. But there is what I was referencing, passion and connection.
Like that replay, eh?
Yeah, lovely work.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Bart. Thank you very much. And now, again, I feel like we always rave about Sylvia, but she is wonderful. And today, so yesterday she brought us gifts. Today she's brought us hand warmers to keep warm, and I can confirm they are incredibly warm. So thank you.
Well, because you took it off as soon as you put it on.
It was like, wow,
so
that's so warm. I had it on my back. It was roasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but huge shout out to Sylvia for the work that she and Maxim Spadiriev and
For
Diane
years,
are doing.
they've done her on the ice dance technical committee for years ago, and obviously here in Poland with all the dance teams, 65.19 for Laura and David. That'll put them first in the free dance with the top competition score of 106.97. They'll be first overall after the first group.
And they go home with a huge number of new additions to their cuddly toy repertoire.
No kidding. That'll fill the rooms.
Yep.
Really good synergy with everyone in that
Yes.
kiss and cry. Great support of each other.
I like synergy.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
It's an English word.
That's maybe
It's an English. I know it's not in Scottish. It is English. Or how would you say it in Scottish?
Synergy.
Yeah, there you go. As we take a look at group number 2, stepping onto the ice for their 5-minute warm-up. And just for the fans that don't know the difference, in pairs and singles, it's a 6-minute warm-up. In ice dance, it's a 5-minute warm-up. I throw the question to Mark. Why is that?
Probably because it's so risky out there in an
What
ice
do you
dance
mean
warm-up.
probably? Because
Let's not have any more minutes of potential jeopardy for crashes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a very, very good question. Why is an ice dance warm-up a 1 minute shorter?
I think it's because if you take a look at, I think they probably started the warm-ups, once they get a few things done, they're kind of just coasting around the ice. So they didn't need, and I think they brought this to the ice dance community and said, are you guys okay with a 5-minute warm-up? Yeah, no problem. We don't need 6 minutes, right?
Wow, that's really interesting. That is something I had never considered. I knew it was there. I know it in the rules, but I never questioned it. Why is it ice dance
That's
warm-up
why I'm here.
shorter?
That's why I'm questioning everything now.
The font
No.
of knowledge.
Actually, you are the guy that questions
Yes.
everything of everyone. Never get in a conversation with Mark
But
because you're going to be asked about your life.
The problem is then I want to take your analysis as gospel truth. I'll say, oh, yeah, they asked the ice dance community.
No, they did. They checked and said, okay, you're okay with 5 minutes? You know what I'm
You
saying?
good?
Because there's not a lot of things to warm up. They got the twizzles perhaps and maybe a lift or whatever. Get the feel of the ice. 5 minutes is lots of time on that. So.
And it's always so fascinating to see the different approaches to a warm-up because I remember, reading as I know so much about Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, the Olympic champions from 1984, and I remember it was always noteworthy for British television that they would do a warm-up pretty much entirely apart. And I think Marina Anasina and Gwenda Pezera may have been similar. And I noticed and observed that when we get to the more senior ranks, that tends to be a bit more of the case. It's a bit more of a relaxed approach to a warm-up. But for these teams, every minute counts and every opportunity for them to acclimatise not just to the ice, but to one another and the nerves.
Watch Piper Gillies and Paul Poirier warm up, and they do it a little bit, but a lot of it separately. A lot of it separately. Just getting the feel of the ice. They'll come together for a bit. And I think a lot of the teams like that. Oh, we just had almost a collision. Little traffic jam at center ice.
They should maybe a question for the ice dance community. Now I'm maybe being silly here, so take it with a pinch of salt. But perhaps instead of a 5-minute warm-up where we could have up to 5 teams sharing the ice, maybe everybody just gets 1 minute each. Because then we wouldn't have to worry about me.
No, that's like doing another performance.
Oh yeah,
yourself out there.
True. So I am going to raise something.
So you're going, where do I go from here?
Well, no, I'm going to raise something.
Oh, boy,
Yesterday, and
you make me nervous when you do that.
Well, no, it's quite comical.
Okay.
So we have been sporting some of the amazing clothing from Pelliot, the new brand collaboration with the International Skating Union through the next Olympic cycle up to 2030. And you and I have done some social media content advertising the brilliance of this stuff. My son, my 12-year-old son, has just requested that he wants an ISU thick padded jacket. So if ever there was confirmation of how good the new Pelliot gear is, it's the fact that there's a 12-year-old that thinks it's cool enough. And I think any 12-year-old wants to look cool. So there's confirmation.
That is amazing. That you can't get better promotion than that.
Yes.
That is awesome because of the age groups there. Now, I have seen online we're a little bit puffy. They call us with the puff jackets because it is, but that's why it's so warm. It's hugely warm. And believe me, we've tested it because we're in a cold rink. No,
too true.
It's great stuff, and I'm loving the feel of it, the warmth of it, and the way it packs. It just
squishes
put
together.
The air, you can make it like a pancake. It's just great for packing as well.
So who knows? I wonder whether or not skaters will be able to.
I don't know. We don't know what the plan is, but I'm sure we'll learn. I mean, the ISU's busy with so many ideas and visions. It's really exciting. And as I said, in the end of the day, people are always critical of decisions. Oh, I don't, this and that or whatever. But they don't have the background. Neither do we. We don't have the background. What I do have, we have a lot of background in skating, but not about the vision that's coming up. What we do have is an understanding that the ISU is researching and developing concepts and ideas and including people's ideas, whether it's fans or whether it's coaches, everybody, as they sort of reconstruct, if you will, how the sport is seen worldwide. It'll take 3 or 4 years to do. This I give a lot of credit to. Even if in the end we say, oh, I wouldn't have done that. But the effort is being there.
And interestingly, you were referencing the warm-ups and joking about how it was taken to the ice dance community, and I know that having had the discussions that we have had with members of the ice dance technical committee, they're very open to communication.
And you can see them now all by themselves, just skating around, right? So they're not doing elements anymore. No. So there you go. Proof in the pudding.
Also that you know a little bit more about the ice dance than me on this occasion. Well
hey,
done.
Listen there, buddy. When you're this age, you know a lot. You know a lot, but you forget a lot. Okay, here we go.
I'll keep it for you.
Yeah. Our next group, our next team, they're there on the ice. They represent Hungary. Villo, Miron, Zilagi, and Istvan Yarats.
In this team, the free dance is inspired by the iconic film Center Stage.
Now, they have a 58.76 personal best, but that was 1 year ago. They will skate to The Way You Make Me Feel. Mark, I have a question for you. So we had a dress reveal, like a change.
Yes.
Can this be distracting for the athletes off the technical development? You know, in the middle of the program, to have to pull whatever and to change whatever. They lost their, balance a little bit after that. Is that a distracting feature that you don't really need?
Well, I think for Villo, Mira, and Istvan Yarax, the dress reveal is totally in line with the concept of their free dance from the film Center Stage. So it's a great film, really cool film. If you've not seen it, everybody should see it. Every dancer should see it. And I know that in the film, that is, she has those two iconic dresses. So I completely resonate with why they did that. I think what was a little bit unfortunate for Villo Mira is that the dress reveal happened a little prematurely. I think the catch on the dress released a little early. But nevertheless, you can see then, and we see the two completely contrasting colours, that they are committed and invested with the concept of their centre stage film. And I don't think I've seen anybody do centre stage on a free dance, so I totally respect and admire that for this team. You can see, though, from a technical perspective, both Villo and Istvan struggling a little through the twizzles, breaking in the rotation.
And that was just after the twizzle, just after the dress reveal. So, and I didn't catch it. Sorry, I should have. But I didn't know what was happening. You were going, oh no.
I was just worried because at first I didn't get the concept. I just thought the catch of the dress had gone, and then I was like, oh no, this is really cool because they're doing the film, and she's gone from gold to red, and that's cool too. Really.
Yeah.
Cool entry into the rotational lift. And they're working through the difficult exit, which would be a level feature. And just, I think that Villo, Mira and Istvan both look older than the 15 and 16 years that they have as Nora joins them. And so they're probably still, early developmental work, and they'll be, after this, going back to find time to work on their basic skating skills because they've done so well to just get ready for the JGP. And I think this is their first junior Grand Prix, so a big deal for the team. And with a coach like Nora, who's got the experience that she has, she will have the context of knowing this is a stepping stone.
Yeah, and that whole process of that dress reveal will be smoother with more run-throughs, and, it's all kind of new and whatnot. So, cool concept, as you said.
And actually, we've watched a lot of ice dance, and I'm thinking, why has nobody done center stage before the film? Well done.
Here's your next free dance.
Oh no, it's been taken now.
Yeah.
It belongs to Villo, Mira and Istvan.
Okay. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Villo and Istvan.
They did do a junior Grand Prix last year, my mistake. They competed once.
59.73, that's fourth in the free dance. They have a total competition score of 102.34, and that'll put them for the moment overall in third place.
Villo, Mira, and Istvan from Hungary have earned a total 102.34 total points.
Here's a look at your top 5 teams so far in this event. So we continue to move along in group number 2. And our next team, there they are. They represent Estonia. Xenia Spinova and Miron Karagan.
And we found out after the rhythm dance yesterday that Miron's lace completely tore after the warm-up, had no time to fix it properly, so just tied it as fast as he could and went out. He felt his foot was basically in a loose boot and kept sliding throughout the performance.
Well, they have a 63.18 season's best, and they'd like to top that right now as they will skate to Bonnie and Clyde.
make plans again. I got reasons to keep living. It's true that love can set you free, and this world will remember me. No need to rush, everybody gets hard and grass. Come around, words on your epitaphs. Living legends, that's what we will be. And it's okay with me. Every place that we go, so darling, you'll be hungry, God's surrender. We are in the distance, this world will remember us. No one will
Estonia's Ksenia Stepanova and Miron Koryagan complete their free dance, and just as I felt after the rhythm dance, the improvement that has been made since their participation in Riga on the first stage of the Junior Grand Prix is seismic, visibly seismic. And I, reference the enjoyment that we had in seeing Centre Stage as a concept for the free dance. This Bonnie and Clyde concept totally working for them. Ah, there you can see their coach. I think it's Leah Rand, delighted. Ah, well done. As we look back at some of the sections, and I just love the little nuances. Good match, good clarity of extension on the feature of the leg. Yeah. And here the team's straight line left, having to show two clean, different positions for the change of pose. This part of their midline step sequence. They'll be working through the difficult turns. It's a level 2 for Miron and level 1 for Ksenia. I was conscious that they maybe didn't have all of the holds within that, but this was fun. Look at the smile on Miron's face, still staying in character when a blade is placed upon his thigh. And I know that there's some that don't love the use of the barrier, but for the choreographic character step that this is, the skaters have to showcase that they get from close to one barrier to very close to the other, and that was an original way in which to do so.
I think the use of the barrier I've seen really effective, and I've seen it kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
It just depends.
That was unique. And we heard, Ted, from Miron that the gloves from Coach Rand are cats, and she has cats herself. Not quite sure if they're the cats.
Well, we thank them for the clarity, because we were wondering what type of animal.
They are very fancy gloves.
Yeah, is it upside down though? Is it not upside down?
Come on, we need to get them turned around.
Yeah, because I think the cat right now is ready to throw up because it's upside down. Oh, no,
Oh, they're
it's
dancing.
correct.
Okay.
No, it's correct. I got it. Okay. See, we're filling time while the judges' scores are coming in. There's 10 judges on the panel, and right at the moment, everything's been happening. The scores coming in, but we don't have the 10 scores in yet. That'll come in really quickly.
Yeah, what I'm excited to see is a new ISU personal best. Just for confirmation, sometimes the skaters don't look overjoyed at what is an ISU personal best because they may have achieved higher at less illustrious
true.
events.
That's very true.
But this season they had a 63. Last year at this event, Ksenia and Miron had a 67. Here,
they're going to have, wait for the reveal, 71.44. It's a season's best. Slight nod of approval there, as they will put them currently into first place for Ksenia and Miron with a 115.84 as they take the lead.
The cats are clapping.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, now the smile's growing. Okay,
Yay.
here we go. Good work with the coach. Our next team represents Sweden, Charlotte Chung and Axel Mackenzie.
Talking of personal best at ISU events, Charlotte Chung and Axel Mackenzie scored a huge personal best. They added 5 points, over 5 points to their rhythm dance personal best. How they hope for the same in their free dance.
They will skate to the Godfather.
Charlotte Chung and Axel Mackenzie and Ted. This is a team that were 16th in Varese, and they're not going to be near the podium at this event. But I remember really enjoying their performance in Italy, and I really enjoyed it again. And so, what is it that connects? When a person like us that watches as much skating as we do, I connected with this because of the musicality and also because of the investment. I feel Charlotte, and mentioned it before when they competed, Charlotte really invested. And you can be invested in a dramatic piece and an emotional piece. This was a playful piece. Yeah. So how do you choreograph the playful, and then how much energy do you put into that? You need to put a lot in, because it's like comedy in a way. I'm not saying this, but comedy's hard. And what was great about The Godfather in this is that it has the diversity of the music. It's such a great framework for different intonation and different variation, and the phrasing lends itself so well. That, unfortunately, however, for Charlotte, was a mistake that she will want to reskate on the twizzles. Might be okay with a level 2 at best there. As we see the 1-foot turns, and here just trying to see the constancy of the running edge, so the edges want to have no deviation, no scratching, no skidding, no scraping, and that will be a part of their future development beyond this, because they certainly got the performance and presentation aspect on point. Right. Solid straight line lift, and this the choreo character step. And I was saying to you, Ted, off air, that I remember this from Varese. I remember enjoying it, and you were saying it could be embellished even more. They've got great material. No, I think it's all great. I think, can you imagine when they feel a little bit more comfortable, be more playful, because the choreography is great, they do it really well, but it can continue to grow because it's charming. Yeah, it's the perfect movement for that music. Yeah, absolutely. It makes you really enjoy that, irregardless of the technical quality, the difficulty, or whatever that happens there. That program is a nice program for them. Yeah. And you really enjoy watching it. Well, we're going to get another selfie? Carl, come on, get your camera out. Oh no, she's maybe looking at scores. Remember we had the... Yes! She's going for another selfie. Now she's got the flower wreath as well. Happy days. Fit that in the frame. Carl does a good job. Great job, not only in coaching and choreography, but recording the moment. That's great. She's recording a moment and she's showcasing the country. Absolutely. Well done, Carol. Excellent. Yeah. I think she possibly also flashed her credit card with it. Yeah, exactly. What did I just buy? Anyway, sorry, serious. Yeah, that's a hard one for you. I know, I'm not so good at that. So, we stand Charlotte and Axel. Yeah. We're enjoying the work, and now for them moving forward, can't just praise them endlessly. More speed, more speed, more speed, more speed. Oh yeah, totally. There's lots to work on, but the core of it is there for sure. We don't actually have access to scores, so we really don't know what's going on and how many reviews there were or whatever. Hopefully that'll come back.
The scores, please.
And here they are. 67.19, their Varese score. They had 5 points added to the rhythm dance score yesterday.
The season best, 69.29 for Charlotte and Axel. That is second in the free dance. They're pretty happy with that, I think. With a 114.91, as they'll take over the second place at this stage of the competition. One more team to come in group number 2.
114.91 total points. They're currently in the second place.
Our next team represents Finland, Eva Rusnova and Platon Zubkov.
Now we head to the top 10 after the rhythm dance. I really enjoyed Eva and Platon. We were listening into the calls of the tech panel in the rhythm dance. We're not going to do that now. We're going to enjoy this performance.
Yes, they need a 65.79 to take the lead as they all skate the free dance to Arcane League and Legends soundtrack.
Things that
Finland's Eva Roshnova and Platon Zubkov. Difficult skate for a team that I feel like they want to be unique, want to be creative. I like the costuming that's creative, even the hair, like you get, and the stylization. These are like creative souls in a sense. But it was a difficult skate.
And I thought at the beginning when they did the 1 foot, I thought, wow, there's really patient, secure, deep edges. That was really good. It looked like good skating skills. Then there were like 3 falls, I think 3 or 2. What is that? 2 falls in the program that just looked, odd.
And I think that, probably testament to the newness of the team.
Yeah. Take a look. Here's the 1 foot. You can see deep edges here, soft knees. Nice right here after that, right in there, patience.
And on the left foot. Like, that's not normal.
So I thought, okay, that's good. Good skating skills. We saw a little loss of balance there, the twizzles.
And I was thinking he did a second twizzle to redeem himself from what is intended to be the second twizzle. So the technical panel will be, I assume, checking what the implications of that are, the little mistakey there.
And just lost his balance and drifted away from her there at the end of the twizzles there. You were questioning this.
I was just wondering because it looks like it was an intentional level 3, which surprised me with the features that they chose in the straight line lift. They get the level 4 for the rotational here. Just look.
Yeah.
And, if I put it into context, as we see the dance spin for Eva and Platon, they're new. And it's, they're going actually, even this, the difficult transition, the back counter within the dance spin.
Yeah.
They're little toe steps. They're not just sort of banking on easy features to get the job done. And it's maybe because they train alongside some amazing Finnish ice dance teams, so they're exposed to senior creatives already. They just haven't had the mileage yet. Please don't let us.
Just started to put the weight on the outside edge, not on the inside for the slide, and lost the balance right there.
I mean, we're right to show it to see the reality of the situation. But I kind of didn't want to see it. But
no, it's hard. I mean, that's.
Did we see the next one though?
I don't know. I'm not sure what I did.
This next bit was really cool.
I don't think I. Yes, I.
Are we watching?
Okay.
Are we watching? Yeah, love that.
That was intentional.
That was well cool.
Well, it was a hard time getting up, right? So, so I like the effort for the creativity. This is really good. Don't give up on that. Just improve the skating skills, and it'll get more solid with more run-throughs. But don't give up on what you're trying to do, which is be innovative, be different.
It makes me want to see Eva and Platon and this free dance in a couple months' time, with more mileage. But right now, it's tough right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that wasn't what was, what we're capable
Yeah, it's one of those things, and we're not inside the minds of the skaters while they're performing, but lots of things are going, questioning, and what do I do, where do I go, and it's really a mind game because you have to forget about what you have just done, good or bad, and move only forward to what you can see, what you're working towards. That's so easy to say; those are just words, but to emotionally be able to do that and think during the program is complicated.
And now it's okay. Park it. All our coaching staff know and believe in us. You need to believe in yourselves and just get back to the rink, full of energy. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely in the right direction. Keep going because you're different and you're innovative. And don't give up on that because you had, a tough skate here. That's the realities. But that's the reality of a journey. It's going to be ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was a bit of a down for the free program in reality.
And I think when they go back to the training environment where they're with Jukka Orahara and Juho Pirinen and Yuli Turkia, Mattis Versluis, and the other great teams, they'll be able to say, listen, we've been there, don't worry, crack on.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go, go, go.
Let's take a look at the freedance score. Certainly not what they want, 58.34, or what they're capable of. That's 7th in the freedance. That's the penalties with the falls there. And we'll take a look at the total competition score of 108.40. That'll put them for the moment at least into 3rd place.
They are currently in the 3rd place. Szanowni Państwo, teraz nastąpi przerwa na odświeżenie tafli. Konkurencję będziemy kontynuować.
And there's a look at your top 5 teams at the end of group number 2 as we move towards an ice resurfacing as Mark scrambles for the video playback list.
We're good.
Okay. What do we got coming up, Mark?
During this ice resurface, we can see the interview with the winners in Riga, Layla and Alexander Brandis. We will see them competing. They're the second to last team to compete in this event. and then back to Riga for our must-watch moments.
We'll take a short break during the ice resurfacing here in Gdansk, the final day of competition. We are in the middle of the free dance. We hope you enjoy the videos. We'll be back right after this.
So Layla and Alex, huge congratulations. You are gold medalists. Now you are coming into this Junior Grand Prix season in, I think, your 4th season on the Junior Grand Prix. You've had a bronze medal before, but what were your ambitions and goals for this season?
I just want to be bold, very much out there. Want to prove that like we deserve this. We deserve like to be.
At the
I guess
top.
yeah, at the top. Yeah.
Coming into this year, like Alex said, that was a main focus for us, and we really had a lot of like passion towards our programs and everything coming into this year, especially after last year. We knew what we needed to improve on, and being able to be here and just get that one step further has felt amazing. We're really proud of ourselves.
And rightly so. You both looked incredible. I particularly loved your free dance. Now, it's an amazing achievement, not just to win gold here, but to have had a partnership that is already 11 years old. You guys have been skating together. I mean, you're not old enough to be skating together for 11 years. So what, though, is the main goal? How many more years are you guys going to skate together? Is there any ambition there?
Until I get tired of her. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We get told we're like an old married couple because we're definitely like brother sister also. But obviously the big goal is the Olympics one day. And however many years that takes, we're in it and we're ready.
Happy days. Now, we were joking earlier on with your coach, Cara Moyer, who's here and supported you here, about how you put up with Mr. Scott Moyer. I thought that was comical. But you've got an amazing, illustrious coaching staff. How much do they inspire you guys?
Oh, greatly. Like they're the reason why I want to keep skating. I want to keep improving. They bring really great energy every day at the rink.
Every single day they inspire us, like Alex said. We can't imagine training anywhere else, honestly. We love all of our coaches. They bring all such a different aspect and different ideas. Like the creativity is just insane, and the care for their athletes. And we absolutely love it.
Oh, that's incredible. So gold here in Riga. Where's the next stop for you guys on the Junior Grand Prix?
Gdansk, Poland.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the very best, and thank you for the brilliant skating here.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Riga, Latvia, and Mark and Ted's must-watch moments from a great week of competition. Mark?
Yeah, opening up the event with the women's competition winner, Mei Akata from Japan. She was a bronze medalist 2 times last year on the Junior Grand Prix series and narrowly missed out on competing at the Junior Grand Prix final. This season, she was utterly golden, and she has said that she hopes to include a triple axel as the season progresses, and we look forward to seeing her continue to develop and improve even more.
And in pairs, Eva Kemp and Jonathan Yelyzaveta from Canada. What an outstanding performance they had at both the short program and the free program. Lots of injuries last season, but they're completely together this year, and they are a team to be reckoned with.
The must-watch moment from the ice dance competition has to go to the champions from Canada, Layla, Villo and Alexander Brandis, who moved up from 2nd place after the rhythm dance to take the title in a narrowly fought competition. Their free dance, the Max Richter piece, was spellbinding, and such brilliant musicality utterly justifies their 15 points and their first step, hopefully, on the way to the Junior Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan.
The must-watch moment in the men's event has to go to last year's World Junior Champion Ryo Nakata skating to Gladiator and landing 2 quads to start the program. Absolutely brilliant, and a great start to this season as he moves towards another Grand Prix final.
In other must-watch moments, I was so captivated by America's Sherry Zhang. She didn't make the podium at this event, but her short program was a little bit of an homage to a great world champion of the past, Michelle Kwan. She was a 5-time world champion from the United States of America, and Sherry subtly but beautifully gave homage to her movement, and I thought it was a really fitting tribute of a great champion.
And Mark, in my must-watch moment, I'm a little biased on this one. Grayson Long from Canada in the men's short program. He has grown and matured so much in his performance. Absolutely outstanding. His best ever performance and best score of his career.
Zapraszamy na rozgrzewkę trzecią grupę zawodników. The following couples may not take the ice for the warm-up. From the United States of America, Sophia and Wiles in Jakub. From Great Britain, Matilde and Jakub. From Switzerland, Seraina and Laurin. From Czechia, Diane and Jachym.
Welcome back, everyone, to Gdansk. Group number 3 on the free dance on the ice, warming up. Now, Mark, question. Why were we late?
It needs understanding. It's a shame that the social media team aren't in the office now because they are just such fun to be around. But Rosa was enlisting our help in getting the skaters to do a little TikTok work.
Enlisting indicates that we had a choice.
Yeah, there was no choice there. But what we can say is that the skaters that are on the ice now, whose initial moment of the warm-up we missed, you will probably see on a social media piece by the International Skating Union. So you'll get a chance to enjoy these athletes in a different medium at some point later on. We've tried to entice them all to take part after the event, whilst trying to be a little bit more mindful about the focus they needed before they competed.
No, for sure, no.
And it's so interesting to see the different approaches of the skaters, because as we rushed around to the skaters' lounge and we were chatting with the skaters waiting to come on for this warm-up, you sense the different energy between the different disciplines, because the single skaters, the pair skaters, and the ice dancers all just have a different approach.
Well, come on, the ice dancers are show-offs. If you're not a show-off, you're not going to be an ice dancer. Well, mind you, we had the conversation with one of the team leaders about one of the dancers that is so quiet and so conservative and so reserved off the ice, but in the middle of the dance, they're just rocking it out. But completely different personality. I was in the ice show for a number of years, and there was a fellow named Dave Combs, and he did the jaws of death and speed skating and flames and diving through the, all this stuff is a big act. He get off the ice, he was quiet like a mouse. He wouldn't say, too much, and very thoughtful, but on the ice he was a completely different person.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because extroverts, introverts, empaths, all sorts of different character traits, and yet we demand of them when they come to the ice to be so extrovertedly expressive. And I find it very interesting when we look now at the free dance competition, to consider the expressive choices and music choices of the teams, because sometimes as a judging panel has to reward somebody that can lean into an introverted state if they are invested with the concepts of their program, because you can actually, as an ice dancer or a single skater, achieve some good presentation scores with an introverted performance if it is an investment. So if the skater looks committed and invested in their material, it can be a little introverted. It can draw you in from a different kind of perspective. That, however, is less common. Ice dancers tend to be a bit more outward in their expression. So we are quite often asked online, Ted, about the music choice that we ourselves would have and the expression that we would take. And to be honest, I always really liked tango. I just really enjoyed being somebody who.
Oh, I'm not a tango guy.
See, I don't think I.
See,
am
you're
aggressive
an
as-
extrovert. I am an introvert. We know that.
Yeah, but then with a different quality. So like extroverted, did a study and some analysis of the different types of human construct, and I can be an extrovert with introverted qualities. You can be an
That's
introvert
true.
with extroverted qualities.
Okay, there you go. I buy that. Yeah, because people are going, you guys talk all the time. What
Exactly,
are you talking about, extrovert or introvert?
Okay.
Here we go. Our first team represents the United States of America. Sophia, and Wiles, Middlecoff.
And I'm sure many of you will recognize the costuming here, signaling the choice of their theme from The Matrix. Sophia, and Wiles and Middlecoff from the United States of America conclude their Matrix free dance. And we've discussed the various different themes that skaters can roll with. The Matrix has got such clear vision, costume enhancing that, some of the iconic movement that you would expect from the film making its way into the choreography for Sophia and Wiles. And if I reference back to the scores that they've had domestically, they've been in the low 70s at domestic events, and so I've not scanned the assessment of the panel here, but I think they're going to achieve a score here that will be higher than that of anything they've achieved in America thus far as well.
That's some beautiful, frames of movement, if you will. We'll see that a little bit later in some of these replays.
They work to the right back inside, a little bit of a
spin
rotation on the spot, little spin, so that should drop a level for Sophia on the twizzles, as we see the curve lift with her body cantilevered away in the difficult position. The 1 foot exit, another of the features to attain level. And this brilliance, coupled with the choreo slide, which another acknowledgement of the turnout that they both got naturally to enjoy. Here, choreo character step, and that's iconic from The Matrix. If you've not seen the film, that kind of stylization. There we go. Thanks, Ted. There's the choreo slide move. Again, showcasing what good turnout the team has. And they've got a good grade of execution addition to that choreo element as we see the rotational lift. And it was the choreo slide I really enjoyed, and the choreo character step also good. And I thought it was good to see Wiles as well. He really was invested as Adrian Lenda joins them in the kiss and cry. So they'd had 72.5 at the Skate Detroit event. At the Dallas Classic, they had a 73.55. Here, I think will be better than that as they debrief with Adrian.
I really like this team. It's early on in their careers, perhaps. They got some beautiful body lines, well matched, good skating skills, same skating skills. 76.85, that is first in the free dance.
Maybe I'm missing something. They don't look as. Maybe I missed another event where they had higher because they don't look too oversized.
Yeah, exactly. Total competition score of 128.01. They'll take over first place. And maybe their expectations were more. And it's hard. You're right about the the domestic scores versus the international scores, and it can be confusing. Sometimes a great joy, sometimes not. Our next team represents Great Britain. Mimi, Marla Davis, Joseph Black.
Mimi and Joseph, both such accomplished dancers on the ice and off the ice, and they having a much more classic stylization for their free dance to that which we've seen from others thus far.
And they'll skate to George Gershwin and Porgy and Bess.
Great Britain's Mimi Marler-Davies and Joseph Black complete the free dance. And as we see Zara Wood, the pair skater from Great Britain, and Alex Lapsky applaud them at ringside. And when we come to discuss the analysis of the different choices and how the judges must then assign presentation components to the performance, I think often we've heard Summertime or George Gershwin music, and I think it's kind of safe music, but there aren't many that can give it the stage show energy that Mimi and Joseph are able to deliver to that so well.
Yeah.
Really.
It's true. I like the way you phrase that. It's sort of safe music it's not abstract. People know it and they like it.
I could give that music to somebody that's maybe not so expressive, but it's one thing being able to do it. It's another thing being able to deliver it appropriately. And
yes,
we can see in Mimi and Joe the ability to interpret with the energy that is appropriately good, not just getting through, not just safe. As we look back at the twizzles, and here, as was the case in the rhythm dance for Mimi and Joe, they're so clean, so crisp. As we see the straight line lift, looked like Joseph was chatting through that. I don't know if he was lip syncing or talking to Mimi, but here pushing the rotation, trying to ensure that they are covering the eyes to push a higher grade of execution and achieve more positive features from the judges. Nice.
They certainly have the expression down, matching the music.
Yeah. And they've been, I think I've said as they've competed previously, that they've both been on the West End in London. They're in the stage school team. And great to see Alan Abretti and Neil Brown also here. Neil was the choreographer for this free dance, so Neil here in his capacity with the other students that he's got, able to be here to support Mimi and Joe as well. And shout out to Karen Quinn as well at home, who has done so much for them as well.
Both 17. No, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Well,
oh yeah,
just 14 and 18.
Yeah. Wow. They've got a lot of years left in junior. Well, a number of years left in junior.
And just for Mimi and Joe, now again, the comparison with scores at different events. When they competed at the kind of home event, the Bolero Cup, there was an 82.01, but that was in Sheffield, in a British panel, in a British event.
Season's best, 76.12 for Mimi and Joseph. And that is second in the free dance with a total competition score of 127.75. No move into second for the moment, at least.
Oh, they're just such nice people. Acceptance of the result.
They're currently in the second place.
Good peeps.
Our next team represents Switzerland. Seraina Scharner and Laurin Whitaker.
And as with the rhythm dance, this a team with bold, brave concepts. I really enjoyed this free dance when we saw them competing in Riga on the first stage of the Junior Grand Prix. They skate Chijin Sakai and Koto Album. Amazing start position to open this free dance. Switzerland's Seraina and Laurin complete their free dance, and that choreo slide is so incredibly cool, so incredibly difficult. But if it's done on really clean ice, it just has a grade of execution that is nearly at maximum. Difficult to do when the ice is a little less clean, but nevertheless, originality and novelty. They have two-time world champion Stéphane Lambiel hollering and whooping and cheering for them, which is high praise from skating royalty as they head towards their coach, Alyssa Besegier. And I really respect and admire that Alyssa's doing such a great job at creating, I wouldn't say innovation, but concept, novelty in concept. Even that in itself, the use of the blade, the body movement, and some had referenced that this was akin to something that Daisuke Takahashi used, I think with Kana Muramoto stylistically, but Alyssa explaining, no, a concept that the team came up with themselves, the skaters too, invested, involved, and eager to run with this concept. This curve lift, such a statement, brilliant position. So not just achieving the kind of conventionally accepted curve lift level 4, but forcing the judges with the positive features that showcased to have a good grade of execution as well. And as we see them work through the choreo character step, interesting to hear, oh, isn't it cool? I mean, that's just nuts. Although, oh no, okay. It's not going in as a fall. There was initially a fall input on that. It has an exclamation mark, so unfortunately that amazing choreo slide that I said was nearly worthy of +4s, +5s, has forced the judges to go down the grade of execution, so the technical panel feeling that it's not sufficient, maybe not 2 seconds of slide, I'm not sure.
Seraina i Laurin uzyskali w tańcu dowolnym 81 punktów i 300. Jest to ich najlepszy wynik w sezonie.
81.03 season's best. That is first in the free dance. Wow, and they look thrilled with a 134 points total competition scores. They take over the lead.
And nice to see Switzerland supporting Switzerland, coaches supporting coaches.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
now to Diane Schneider and Jachym Novak representing Czechia, the winners of the Czech Junior Grand Prix test skates. They explained that they were a little disappointed with their free dance in Varese, not like practice, not a version of themselves that reflects what they have been doing. They were 7th in that event. Hoping for more here. Oh, what an amazing capture of the emotion on the face of Diane Schneider as they share a high 10, knowing that they were disappointed in Varese, knowing they've had 3 weeks of hard work with their coach Matilde Novak to come and deliver a better free skate.
And Mark, I got to say, the save by Jachym on that lift when he whips her up in the shoulder and around, and his arm missed the leg, but he re-grabbed it. Now that was a great save on his part.
I could not agree more. And there we see Czechia's pairs team as well. Friendships being formed up the ice as well. But I saw a big inhalation of breath from Jachym after the choreo character step before the rotational lift. And he looked like he just had to take a measure of, okay, regroup before this rotational lift. So glad he did, because that could have been disastrous, and he made sure it was not, kept his partner safe.
Great synchronization in that first set of the twizzles. Steps in between.
Good use of push too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see a little bit now at this stage in the competition, more pressure into the ice.
But just level 3 for both.
Oh, okay. Maybe some checks in rotation. The technical panel will have been looking at practices all week, so they'll be a little bit more aware and mindful of some of the mistakes that the teams might make to call out as we look at the choreo character step.
Really crisp and sharp.
Oh my goodness. And I was so aware, passion from Diane and fierce, feisty energy from Jachym. Here we go.
Right there, right there. You see, he missed that first grab. Wow, that was amazing.
That testament to how many run-throughs he must have done to have been so on point or so charged with adrenaline to make sure that he had the wherewithal to.
And he did not stop the rotation. He kept the hold with the left hand as he resets the right hand. That was amazing what he did.
It was almost like they then had a slight break in the rotation, and then it was almost like it ignited in him even greater motivation to push through.
It's little things like that other people may not see, that skating people, we go, whoa, that was extraordinary, right? We know what it's like. But he made it look like it was no big deal, which in the end it wasn't.
No. Matilde Novak, shout out to Matilde, because when my luggage didn't arrive, he offered to help me. I said, probably a similar size, I can give you some clothes. So.
Well, how about his coaching? What?
Oh, no, but great coach, but good guy too. Helping the production team out too. Great coach.
Yeah.
And actually now the coaching of Matilde will be rewarded hopefully, because the score we're about to see will be much higher than the 76.96 they achieved in Varese.
Yeah. Season's best, 82.82. They're going, okay, that's pretty good. Not screaming for joy, but they're happy with it. It's first in the free dance so far with a 137.10, with that being the total competition score as they take over the lead, with 5 teams to come. Will we see any changes in the standings over the next 5 teams? Well, it'll be interesting to watch. You have to be secure, skate clean, and preserve where you are, and maybe possibly move up as we take a look at the standings so far after 3 groups.
From the United States of America, Grace Fisher and Luke Fisher. From France.
Okay, Mark, do we have any questions?
No,
or
so
points
then,
to make?
Well, then, you know what that means? We're going to quiz you.
Jeez.
Yeah, you were too late. You didn't know it was coming there. You should have seen.
Listen, folks
yesterday.
out there, if you don't want to hear me and him ramble on, then you need to send your questions in. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, actually, maybe I should just check my own social media, because I've been very fortunate to have some questions sent in from others online. But no, indeed, it is my opportunity to ask of you, Ted, the Ice Dance Technical Committee from the International Skating Union have been wonderfully open in their requests for information, ideas, and assessments of what coaches and skaters feel in the sport. And so they're very, very open to hearing how to move forward. Now, before I quiz you with any questions, we can confirm that.
Here we go.
I'll maybe save you. I'm not sure if I'll end up with a question. We'll see.
Good.
I'll just tell those that are listening about our discussions that we have had with members of the Ice Dance Technical Committee, and it's just been so great to hear from them and hear how really genuinely eager they are to hear the ideas of those involved. And, I thought it was very interesting that actually members of the Singles Tech Committee were eager to hear our opinions too, because we offer a different perspective. Now, you and I are just here to relay stories and support skaters, but sometimes in that capacity we're exposed to more opinions from fans, and that's something that the tech committees are also eager and aware that they need to hear too. And so yeah, I'm just really proud to report that is something that our sport is mindful of, and those that are involved in the decision making are conscientious of.
Well, thank you for that question. It's oh yeah, right. It wasn't a question.
What would you change? What would you suggest for ice dance?
No, first of all, I want to say I completely agree with you. That's so refreshing that everyone is asking people around the world who watch skating, live skating, love skating, as to what type of concepts and ideas could happen. It was really interesting discussion as we had with the chairman of the technical committee for ice dance and one of the members as well. And interesting thought, like when I watch ice dance, I absolutely love the entertainment value. Remember, I always talk about sport, art, and entertainment. And in the area of ice dancers, art and entertainment, there is sport for sure, but can you separate that sport so people could actually see it? And we talked about the twizzle, we talked about the lifts, there's the sporting part and others as well, obviously. But the value of the overall mark. Do we have, and I remember when we were building the system, people were complaining because we didn't have a mark that really reflected the overall. We were more specific in detail, but where was the overall emotion or impact of that performance? It's not a bad question now. And then we had to be specific with technical and with program components, so all those points could add up to something that the skaters could understand and the control was in their hand. But from a fan perspective, and even from an emotional judge perspective, is there an overall score or mark that says this was a great performance? A great performance. So I'm just throwing that out there on the table and going, that's a simple thing in some ways, but then it gets bogged down with the detail.
Yeah.
Well, a great performance must have da 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 da, and not necessarily the feeling.
It's so interesting because the judges currently who define the results, it's Olympic season. We've got lots of incredible ice dance teams that have spent 10, 20 years working towards next year's Winter Olympics. How will the judging panel in Milano decide who's worthy of those top 3 podium places? And now, if I've got the component criteria in front of me now, I can give you words off the page for presentation and composition and how the judges define it. But you're making a good point. What's the feeling? And sometimes the feeling that I get most is not from the top skaters.
Yeah, in some cases for sure it is. And I want to make sort of one more point here, one sort of apologize. I don't want, if a technical committee member was watching this, we've been given a clean slate to come up with concepts and ideas. Not we only, but the whole community. Yeah. So that's only a comment. I don't even know what's right. I don't even know if, that could be just like a stupid comment that I just made. But I feel free because the organization is looking towards concepts and ideas that put them on the table and we'll sort through it and figure it out. There's no wrong concept here. So I feel free to say that. But I just feel the feeling and emotion that we all love about our sport. How do you judge that? How is it seen? Right now it's buried amongst a whole mess of things. And perhaps is there a different way we can recognize
and
it?
I think this was, there's no right or wrong in an ever-changing culture and an ever-changing viewership. The way we view sport and the way we view art is very, very different globally across not just our sport, but across all mediums. So there's no right or wrong.
There you go.
Currently.
We're out of the warm-up, and I'm not down that rabbit hole any further.
Yeah. I didn't even ask a question. I think, well, no, I did. Yeah, okay. Maybe I did.
Well...
You ran with it, though.
Yeah, I did. Here we go. We're crazy. Okay. Final group. This is going to be exciting, and we talk sport, art, and entertainment. Our first team is from the United States of America, Grace and Luke Fisher.
What an amazing accomplishment for this sibling pairing to find themselves in the top group after a successful rhythm dance.
They're going to skate to a variety of tunes here. Best Friend, When I Get There, and Good Times Roll. Here we go.
I think that I keep loving you. We past 65. We need a language for us two. We don't need to describe. Every time you call me, I drop what I do. You are my best friend and we've got some things to do.
The brother and sister team of Grace Fischer and Luke Fischer. Sophie Jolene von Felten, the bronze medalist in the women's
Grace
event,
Fischer
and
i
her
Luke
parents.
Fischer, reprezentanci
And coach
Stanów
applaud
Zjednoczonych.
ringside for Americans Grace and Luke, and you could see perhaps that in the top left-hand corner of the screen, their technical element score for this team is really impressive comparative to that from what we have seen of others thus
They
far.
started out, you know, at the top of the program, sort of demonstrating really good skating skills, good deep edges, knees, and acceleration on every step, and that carried through the rest of the program.
Yeah, really deep, really well trained, and trained in a way that showcases so much diligence from the coaches that will have ensured that there was fundamentally good quality pushing.
And there's a look at the straight line lift coming in, obviously at level 4. It's not often we see that, wow, that whipping around and the dance spin.
Into the dance spin. And their 3-jump typical entry, Group C feature, and then the arms and legs, establishing features very clearly. And not just working on level 4 here, but working on creative execution. Each of the movements in between the first and the second, trying to attract more positive features, higher creative execution from the judges. Now this is really cool because it comes in as a choreographic hydroblade movement as opposed to a choreographic slide. Had Luke put his hand on the ice, it would go in as a different call. And to me, this is much more difficult without that little bit of support from the right arm. And they sustained it so well, really showcasing it was like a, here's how strong we are, look how long we can hold this hydroblade.
A nice crisp movement to the music on the choreographic steps.
And interestingly, I assume that skating is very much in the family blood. Their grandfather was the president of the Yale Figure Skating Club, so I suspect that this a family that has skating in the blood and in the family for many generations, and thus I'm sure there are lots of people either here in Gdansk or at home, very proud family members.
There's some history there.
And did I mention, as they shape hearts in the Kiss and Cry, that this team sent us questions in? So when we were begging for questions,
Oh, thank you for that.
they send us questions in.
Okay,
so
here's
we have to
the-
get them extra
Here's our
points.
assignment. When you get home for
Send us
next
more.
week, send in lots of questions so we don't ramble on, please.
Grace
Okay, here we
Luke
go. Let's take a look at the
zdobyli
free
w
dance score.
tańcu rytmicznym, w tańcu dowolnym 85
85.76. They look pretty happy with that. That's first in the free dance. They are thrilled with the total competition skill. Looking for the high five. There we go. 142.02. And that'll put them into first place overall. They're charming.
Oh, Grace looks so happy.
Yeah, so happy. Time for ice cream. You know?
Yes, celebration.
Let's celebrate. Great job.
Przed państwem
Our next team represents France. Lukasz and Lukasz Chatimo.
Fourth after the rhythm dance, and fourth in Riga at the first stage of the Junior Grand Prix. That said, Lou and Luka find themselves less than a point ahead of a strong performance from the Americans. And they will skate the Ballad 4. So hard to make the comparison from this and what we've just seen, but for me, Lucas Chatignon from France, delivering passion and intensity, and they are 18 and 20, so comparatively older than that which we have just seen, and able to tap in then to the maturity that they have in interpretation. On top of quality skating skills that they have, this was slower across the ice, less speed, but from a presentation perspective, better.
And this sort of tango, it was kind of a dark one. When I first started watching, I started, wow, this is pretty dark tango. Like, it's not snappy or whatever, but it grew on me. And then
sorry, Jed, I didn't interrupt. It grew on me too laterally, and then the choreo character step, that was where I really engaged with it.
Yeah, and then I thought, wow, they're doing a great job at drawing you in, and it is dark for a reason. They wanted it to be that way. Dark's maybe not the right description. Intense, okay, there you go. I think every tango is intense, but...
And there's so many different types of tango globally and culturally. There are different types of interpretation of tango. It's a little bit more contemporary, one could argue, but I love the blade control, the toe step, the depth of the left forward outside edge there. And here, what a great regrab. You can just see turning the hand from Luca to facilitate the split, the difficult position for Lou. Lovely positioning. Nice connection there in the slow-mo between the couple.
And this is the part where, before this as well, but this is where I said, okay, now I'm getting it.
And there, the hand placement of her left hand and his right hand, if that's sustained for 2 seconds or more, that facilitates a choreo slide as opposed to the choreo high glide that we saw in the American team, the Fishers. Whack. Look at the fingers, extension and vibrancy to the very end of her hand as Karine Aribert joins them. So, for me, components stronger, but it's going to be interesting to make the comparison on the tech score, because I thought that the American team of Grace and Luke were so crisp and clean and polished and speedy across the ice, in and out of all of the elements. So perhaps from a grade of execution, element on element, the Americans are close. They have less than a point between them. And of course, Lou and Luca want to stay in fourth at least after their free dance.
Looking very close. We'll see what sort of comes out. We can see the numbers as they change, as the judges, one by one, sort of putting their numbers in, the final numbers in.
It's too hard to call it when the numbers change like this.
Yeah, they do.
You just can't change because it could be so much deviation at the last gasp.
Free dance score, season's best, 85.42. That is second in the free dance. But with the total competition score, that's the important one, of 142.29, and that will put them currently into first place as they start halfway through the final group. And that, in fact, gives them a shot at the podium, but there's 3 teams to come. They'll have to wait. Our next team represents Italy, Ariana Soldati and Nicholas Tagliabue.
And this Italian team struggled a little bit in Varese in their free dance there, but they were wonderful in the rhythm dance, showcasing improvement already since their first Junior Grand Prix this season, skating to the sparkling diamond.
Hold one and then caress it. Touch it, stroke it, and undress it. I can see every part, nothing hides in their heart to hurt me.
Italy's Ariana Soldati and Nicholas Taliabe complete the free dance, and the concept of them being thieves working together, well delivered. And if you weren't, if you hadn't known that Lucas Jolie had explained that, their choreographer, I'm sure that was evident in the stylization that they delivered. And I thought what was interesting here for this team is that as Ariana and Nicholas did the start of the choreo character step, we saw Adrian Lenda, coach of other teams, vying to beat them, smiling in the back of shot. It was movement that was sufficiently unique, interesting, and engaging that it would make their competitors smile and engage with.
Yeah, it's interesting. You talked about if you didn't know, you would know. If you didn't know the story, you would know it because they really
delivered.
acted it out. They did it beautifully as well. In some cases, you wouldn't know, but in this case, you would. You wouldn't need that, cheat sheet at the beginning saying what the story is.
Yes, the cheat sheet. So I'm always trying to get the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
Here we're seeing straight line left, change of pose into the combo left. So unsurprisingly, straight line left 4, rotational left 4. Does it have as much speed? Does it have as much ice coverage as others for the grade of execution? That's what will separate teams with that element. And here too, can they cover more ice between the first and second twizzle?
Oop.
You see a little break there for
Step up.
Ariana.
Yeah.
What I think this team does have, Ted, though, it may not have as much speed as others. It may still be in its formation. Ariana's just 14 years of age. This doesn't matter. It's a bit like costumes, but they're just an incredibly attractive visual team. They're just incredibly good-looking young people, and they make a great aesthetic on the ice. That doesn't count for anything, but I'm sure their parents are happy to hear it.
Not on the score sheets and not on the the rules and all that kind of stuff. But if you're a human being sitting down, it probably affects you in some way that's not measurable, but it's a judge sport.
Yeah.
It has certain subjective.
Well, there's a presentation score, and just when they stand still, they just present themselves. They just naturally look very presentable.
Yeah.
As their coach does. Oh my goodness! I think it's Frederica Bernardi. Her posture was superb in the rhythm dance Kiss and Cry, and now she's got exemplary posture there too.
Yeah, wonderful. 83.77. That is third actually in the free dance for Ariana and Nicholas. But overall, 144.18, that is first, and so that will guarantee them a medal. Now they realize, okay, we're on the podium. You look at the first one, you go, uh-oh. But wait till that total score comes up. Now they're alive. Now they will wear medal. The color, yet to be determined. As we take a look at the Canadians, Layla, Villo, and Alexander Brandes.
You can hear the support team from Skate Canada. And Layla checks in with Alexander to ensure they're both mentally and physically ready to skate to the Four Seasons.
Mark, I just want to make a comment here as they celebrate really a wonderful free dance. This young boy, Alexander Brandes, has come so far in his journey. I've seen him at the national championships in Canada for a number of years, and it's hard to even recognize him. And I know he's relatively introverted off the ice, but he has a passion for skating and a love for this. And I think his coaches have brought something special out that were maybe deep inside his soul, and he didn't know or didn't trust and didn't know how to bring it out himself, and it was brought out. And you see him really a perfect partner for Layla. It's beautiful. If you knew where he came from until this day, until what we see in front of us now, it's extraordinary journey. And I wanted to shout out to him because quite often we talk a lot about the team or about the women, but in this case, for me at least, Alexander Brandes, congratulations.
Oh, nice, Dad. And I think we're seeing the product of almost a decade's worth of teamwork, and all of this fine detail, which I so appreciate. It's 10 years worth of work, and they're very vocal in shouting out their gratitude to the team. Alma Moyer brought them together 10 years ago, and they continue to work with the Moyer family, and now Adrian and Madison Hubble. And they said that the choreography process is very much teamwork, with everybody throwing in a little bit of magic, and there was so much detailing and so much variation in the movement too. And some lovely nuances musically highlighted and picked out. And what was interesting in chatting to, I think, Karamor when we saw them in Riga was how the coach described the joy that the coaching community has working together.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be such a positive for Layla and Alexander. Maybe that's part of the reason that this season they are just shining and excelling, because we've seen them multiple times on the Junior Grand Prix. But
this is a team that has had a massive, massive discovery of who they can be and who they want to be, and I think we've only begun to see the start of where they can go. But they had to have this big leap in their abilities and skill and discovery, and it's there.
And it really does confirm the concept of ice dance teams needing time.
Totally.
Those senior world medalists, decades worth of time.
It aligns itself with growing up and discovering yourself. Let's take a look at the score. The free dance score. For Villo and Brandes, season's best, 97.84. That is first in the free dance, with a total competition score of 161.44 as they take the lead with one team to come. They have to feel extremely proud of what they've accomplished this season. And I think they have a good shot at where they're wanting to go, to Nagoya. The final team representing Ukraine, Iryna Artem.
Well, they were the first to skate in the rhythm dance, the final team to skate in the free dance. Iryna and Artem going for gold as they skate to Moulin Rouge from the musical.
Ladies and gentlemen, bohemians and artists, coquettes and boulevardiers, may I present to you my sparkling diamond, the unique, the indomitable, the one and only Satina.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I don't feel that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever.
I was out of touch, but it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Mark simply said, "That's cool."
So cool. Iryna, Pagina, Artem, Koval. And I can't help but just admire so much of what they and the team have done. They've had to relocate. They've had to leave their home country of Ukraine to train now and have done for some time in Vienna in Austria, moving with their coach Galina Chirolova. And what I noticed in this program, watching this free dance from Iryna and Artem, is the continued influence and support from Alexandra Nazarova and Maxim Nikitin, who were always so keen to showcase tricks and acrobatic movement, and that was, you know, littered throughout the transitional content.
Have innovations, wonderful transitions, but they look so comfortable with it, as if it's nothing, as if it's just woven into the fabric of the program, not like, oh, here's a trick, which is separate from the fabric. It's all part of it, which is exactly what you want, what the choreographer wants. They simply do it.
Yeah. I feel I've got a big soft spot for Galina as well, because she's not just supporting Ukrainian skaters, but now helping Austrian ice dancers as well in their training base. As we look back at some of the free dance performance, and as you said, Ted, little things like that, the typical entry, the jump entry, so much acrobatic prowess, as we see their
rotational lift right off the top.
What we can never see in replay is musicality, that leg movement, that drop down, all punctuating the music in a manner that will ensure the judges' reward from the creative execution. Yeah, you were saying, Ted, though, that they have a senior-esque quality to them.
That's what I felt. Like they had elements of senior skaters, senior teams, if you will, that maybe some of the other teams or all the other teams don't have yet.
And the acrobatics that I referenced, able to be appreciated, built on a solid foundation of body awareness, and Iryna in particular, always clean in the leg line.
That's cool. We showed that last time. I just love that. Just a pause. And then move away from the barrier and present to the judges and to the camera. Nice.
And, there is probably a different feeling for Iryna and Artem this year, because they come in fourth in the Grand Prix final, fourth at Junior Worlds. Now is it their time to step up? But that applies a pressure as well.
Kind of the leaders. Well, let's take a look at the free dance score. Should be big. 98.44. That is first in the free dance. Season's best. Some tight fists in the kiss and cry with a total competition score of 164.13. Iryna Pagina, Artem Koval, the champions here in Gdansk.
And I love how Artem always looks after coach
Galina.
and partner.
Yeah. Look, I think she's crying. She has a tear.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Our social media team missed his kiss and cry reaction to the rhythm dance. I bet they wish they were here to capture his fun in the kiss and cry today too.
Exactly. As we take a look at the final result, Pagina and Cobell 164-13, Vilya and Brandy's 161-44 and 144-18 for the team who is in third, Ariana Soldati and Nicholas Taglabu. Your top three, and there's a look at the rest of the field.
The ice dance event is always so emotionally like, woo.
It is, but it's so entertaining. It gives you everything, and it's such a valuable, discipline. So wonderful, and it's so, like, when they're looking for changes, how do we keep the brilliance of it while we make it? Maybe the rules don't matter. I mean, to the athletes they do, to the judges they do, to the audience do they? I don't know.
I love it.
Bigger discussion. Okay, that concludes our coverage of the ice dance event. Up next will be the men's free program. That, I hope, is going to be just like the women's yesterday, which was so
fantastic.
exciting and so deep in the field. It was a terrific event indeed. The men's free coming up after the ice resurfacing. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the free dance. I'm Ted. He's Mark. We'll be back after this.